This isn't my best piece, but wait until you see all 48 Kuretake colours come to life. I had way too much fun testing every single one. Come and see I unbox, swatch and paint a flower for you. Oh no, what did I end up buying? Let's have a look. Am I excited? Oh no. I only went and bought some Kuretake Gansai Tambi. I'm so excited, look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's lovely. So nice. I don't know if I'm a bit late to the party, but I know these have been really popular. But I've got them now. I have got them now. That's so nice, that is so satisfying. Right, let me do this carefully. So I got them because I don't need any more paints, but I got them. I've got so many paints. Okay, this will be interesting to swatch because if you've seen any of my previous videos or if you've been following along, you know I don't like swatch videos, but I have an idea. I have an idea of what I am going to do. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me paint and swatch with these. I like how you've got... pick it up. I like how you've got these. And you've got one in there, so that'll be interesting to sort out. And you've got a little plastic sheet over them. I'm being so careful because it looks so nice. When I touch them, yeah, they're really dry. Okay, let's just pick one up just to see. Yep, that's good. Yep, lime green, that matches. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how I get on with swatching these. So I've got my spray ready, but if I spray, I'm going to ruin the box. It's going to get soaking wet. So I've decided the best way to do this is just to pop a drop of water into each container. There's 48. It took a little while and I thought I wouldn't sit through this, so I don't expect you to sit through it, which is why I sped it up for you. I really like how there's a swatching chart inside the box, and because of that, this is probably the first time that I have done a proper swatch like this. In the 3 years or so that I've been painting, I have never done a swatch like this. So if you do get them, if you do get a set, it's definitely worth doing this. And then once it's dried, you can see what kind of colour it's going to be once it's dried. Because if you're not aware, watercolour dries lighter. It goes on bright and bold, but it does dry much lighter. At the minute, I'm absolutely loving the colours. And I'm really liking how they are, some are really bold and bright and vibrant, and some are muted. I feel like some of them are toned down and not as bright. There's so much pigment in them. There's so much colour. You don't need a lot on your paintbrush to create so much paint. So also in the box, there is a little write-up, like a leaflet type bit of information for you. So you've got a list of the colours at the front. It is a water-based pigment and it's the 48 colour set. I know on YouTube and maybe social media and online, there's been a mixture of information saying it's like gouache, but on the back, it does say, what is Gansai Tambi? And then it says traditional Japanese pan watercolours for professional artists and crafters. So in black and white, that does say it is watercolours. However, further down this piece of paper, it does also say various expressions. Water-based pigment paint can be highly opaque when used solely as gouache. but can also become more transparent depending on the amount of water added for dilution. That's where I think the confusion has come from. So you can use it potentially as both. I missed the white when I was swatching. I missed the white gold. These colours are so beautiful, and you also get another chart that you can colour in. Not quite sure why. Okay, so the idea I had was very similar to my tree swatch when I bought some Caran d'Arche watercolour pencils, and I swatched all, I can't remember how many colours are in there, 48 colours I think are in there. Is that the same? 48 colours in that? 48 colours in this Kuretake set? I'll check that out, I will make sure. But the idea was to swatch by making a flower. I didn't want to make another tree. Now that I've done this, I kind of wish I'd have done it slightly differently and maybe just painted some leaves, just 48 separate leaves, and then connected them somehow. But it was still really interesting, and I wanted to be truthful to my viewers, to you guys as well, and this is what I've come up with. So I have posted it. I've created a small video just to show you the results. I started off with the reds, and looking at them, they are very, very similar in colour. So each petal you can see me creating here. I've just started off with a circle of dots, and then with a big brush I've added some water just to see how the colours and the pigment flow in the water. Really, really nice, really beautiful, flowy paints with the water. Really nice mixture. Again, in the research that I've done, it does say you don't need a lot of water, and to use them like the Japanese would, which is straight from the pan, and you don't need to mix the colours. I've done the opposite to that. I'm using them like I would with my Shinhan paints, with my Winsor and Newton paints. I've got some Daniel Smith, which I haven't used very often, to be honest, but I'm using them like I would with my painting, and they are gorgeous. They are really, really beautiful. And I think after I had done the petals, I started to get a little bit carried away with the leaves, and I know I've probably ruined the picture, but also the paper is 300 GSM, but it doesn't actually say it's 100% cotton. It's Bemidja. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, but it's still watercolor paper. It's not my best watercolor paper, so that's another reason why I think perhaps this didn't turn out quite like I would have expected. The brushes I'm using are Princeton Neptune. The big one is a quill brush size 6, so it's quite large. And then the other one I was using was size 8, which isn't too big. But I think because I didn't have an exact idea of what I was going to do, I just thought, do you know what, it doesn't matter. Let's just enjoy it. Let's see what the colours are like. I'm still working my way through all the colours. I'm on the lighter colours now, and I did it in order as well. And what I mean by that is in the order that they originally came in the box is the order that I placed them on my page. I hope that makes sense. So, do I really need 48 colours? The simple answer is no, but I was really interested in the lilac and the purples, the reds and the yellows. And then when I looked, they were in 2 separate packs. But then I saw a 48, and I was going to originally get it from Jackson Art. They were out of stock. The 48 I originally thought was going to be too many. And then, like I say, the lilac and the yellows were in 2 separate packs. I was ready to buy 2 separate packs. But then I saw them on Amazon, a set of 48 at a bargain price. So definitely look on Amazon. Definitely check out Jackson Art. I don't think Cass Art sells them. So I ended up getting them from Amazon in the end. You don't need 48 colours. You definitely don't. And it is a bit overkill. But feel like I'm saying but a lot in this little mini review. What I intend to do is just pick out the colours that I'm going to use on my next project and then just have a limited palette in that sense. So that is what you could do if that is something you're interested in. Don't have them all out. It can be overwhelming to look at all these colours. Yes, they are really satisfying and really beautiful, but it's a lot of colours. Also, I'm not affiliated with anyone, by the way. I'm not affiliated with Amazon or any of the other companies that I've mentioned. This is just my own personal view. I'm adding on a few little bits of details now. Like I say, as you can see, I've probably gone a little bit carried away without having a real proper plan of exactly what I was going to do. But I'm really liking how the details and the bright colours, like I say, the purple that I'm using is Imperial Violet and Cobalt Violet and purple. They've all turned out really beautiful. This one that I'm using now is Yellow Ochre. Just absolutely gorgeous colours. They are so bright and vibrant. I can't get over how bright they were. I think I was expecting them to be more muted. And I do actually have some Gansai Tambi gem colours, which are shimmery and shiny. So that would be great to work with these as well. One last point I want to make before I finish up is, are they good for beginners? In my personal opinion, I would say yes, they are. There's no reason why a beginner artist couldn't get these and use them as watercolours. You can use them as gouache, as I mentioned earlier. I don't see why not. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's given you an insight of what can be done with these beautiful, gorgeous, fantastic colours. And I hope you will subscribe or come back and watch another video. I added on the shimmer colours at the end when everything had dried so that you can see the shimmery bits. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.